Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite makes the process of becoming a published, best-selling author as simple as sipping your morning cup of coffee. You can learn more about Authors Unite at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today, I have George Rosario with us. He's a realtor servicing Brooklyn, Queens, and Manhattan, and he's also a keynote speaker who speaks nationally and internationally. So welcome to the show, George.
Hey, thank you, Tyler.
Of course, man. We'll dive right into the first question. And the first question I have for you today is, what's the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Oh, wow. Okay. I'll tell you, when I was 18, I met a guy named Willie. He was homeless. People ignored him. Well, he seemed homeless. People ignored him. He used to hang out in Manhattan on 34th Street and Broadway. One day I bought a sandwich. The sandwich was too big. I wasn't really hungry. So I walked over to him and I offered him half. And he says, I'll eat it under one condition. You sit with me and you talk. I sat down with this man. I figured I'm going to sit down with him maybe, 5-10 minutes. 3 hours later, I was still there listening to this man. 3 hours, I'm sorry about that. 3 hours later, I was still listening to this man. And he was just an incredible man to speak to, had a lot of knowledge. And it turns out that he was not homeless. He was purposely doing this. He was a multimillionaire who was simply people watching. It was his favorite thing to do. And he used to do it every single day. That lesson alone taught me, don't judge a book by its cover. Just go right in and talk to people. You never know what opportunities you're missing by just ignoring someone. I still speak to this. I spoke to him until 2 years ago when he passed away. So incredible man.
Yeah, that is an amazing story. I'm sorry to hear that he passed away, but very cool story with a great message. Thanks for sharing that. Next question is what's the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Being a realtor and being a public speaker, we surround ourselves with people. We're always speaking to a lot of people. I tell people that the best way to approach your business, whatever business you're in, is to purposely surround yourself with positive people and to approach your business, whatever it is, with a positive approach. Being a realtor and a public speaker, and, I do some corporate coaching here and there, you meet a lot of people that are just stuck in negativity. And if you let that draw into your life, you can't be successful. So I just focus on surrounding myself with positive people and bringing a positive message to everything I do.
And what's your best piece of overall business advice? So not necessarily industry specific.
Overall, if you don't like the situation you're in and you don't like what you're in, what business you're in, change it. You have one life to live. You're not going to be able to work until you're 100. So don't waste your time on something that's not making you happy. Take a chance, take a leap. I did it. I had a profession before being a realtor. I jumped into real estate and someone offered me a chance to speak. I jumped into speaking. And because these things are passions of mine, things that I enjoy doing, it doesn't seem like I'm working. I'm just enjoying it. And it's made me a much more positive and successful person. Don't stay stuck in a situation, man. A job is a job. It's not your life. Don't stay stuck. Look for something that you really, truly enjoy doing.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
It's funny. My partner and I, my business partner and I, we shot a YouTube video on this. And it's don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's number one. When I was younger, I was afraid of what are people going to say, so I didn't want to make mistakes. And number two was believe in yourself before you expect anyone else to believe in you. I went out there thinking the world owed me something, but I didn't believe in myself. The moment I started believing in myself, the rest of the world picked up on it and believed in me.
And in your opinion, what's the key to happiness?
Self-awareness. You have to know who you are. And you have to be true to yourself. If you don't know who you are, you're just going to be floating through life, not feeling okay, not feeling 100%. So go out there and learn who you are through mistakes and taking chances and believing in yourself. But be self-aware. Know who you are.
And what's the best book you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from it?
The best book, a book that I speak about to a lot of people, is Think and Grow Rich. And that's by Napoleon Hill. I learned that thoughts are real things, that they're concrete things, that if whatever you believe, whatever you think, if you believe it, you can conceive it. So that really taught me a big lesson. Be careful what you think, because if you focus on negative things and the bad things in your life, those things will just multiply. If you focus on positive things and big goals, you'll just keep growing.
And what's your favorite quote and why?
Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. That's by Henry Ford. And it's all about just believing, knowing that you can do it. The second quote would be, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and it will be open to you. And that's in the Bible. That's, Matthew chapter 7, verse 7. The two are very related. If you believe it, you can get it.
Well, thank you very much for coming on, George. The last question I have for you is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
Well, I'm everywhere on social media. So depending which social media you like to use, you can find me on it. What I suggest for people is go to georgerosario.com. So that's www.georgerosario.com. And if you look on the upper right-hand corner, you'll see all the icons to all the different social medias. Just click on one and you'll find it.
Perfect, man. Thank you again for coming on. We appreciate it.
Excellent, brother. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Business Blast podcast. And don't forget, if you're interested in a simplified way of becoming a published best-selling author, make sure to check out authorsunite.com. We'll catch you on the next episode.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.